Okay, here's an example that I took from the homework 3.3.8. Trees are subject to CO2. The CO2 controls their growth rate. So here are some samples. ppm is parts per million. So 360 parts per million, 6% probability that our sample will have 360 parts per million. 470 parts per million, 10%. 540 parts per million, 47%. 660 parts per million, 37%. So what I want to find here is the average. Okay, so I want to find the average or the mean, and I want to find the standard deviation. So that'll be x bar, and it'll be what we call sigma x for standard deviation. So you could use those formulas, or you could use a TI-84 calculator. Okay, so turn it on, press the stat button right here where my finger is, stat. Okay, and then under edit, it's already highlighting the number 1, so you can press enter. Get rid of the lists that are in there already. So if you go up to highlight the name of the list, press clear. Don't press delete. Press clear, which is right here, and then press enter, and it clears that list. Go over to list 1, highlight the name, press clear, and then press enter, and it clears the list. So let's put in those values: 360 parts per million, 470 parts per million, 540 parts per million, and 660 parts per million. Okay, and then use the arrow button to go over to the next list. Okay, now put in the percentages. So 0.06, that's 6%. 0.10%. 0.47, or that's 47%. So okay, I think I misspoke here. That's 6%, 10%, 47%. Let's just say that this is 37%, like so. Okay, so now quit out. So press second and then quit. So get out of this. Okay, so now go to stat. Use the right arrow button to go over to calc. It's one variable stats, choice 1, so you can press the number 1 on your keyboard. And a list, that'll be the x part. The frequency list, L sub 2, that's the f of x part. So you would have list 1, list 2. Now highlight calculate and press enter. So the average, x bar, 566.6 parts per million. Standard deviation, 83.99. Got that? What? Okay. And so to calculate the average and the standard deviation, you see that's what I have here, 566.6 and 83.99. Consider the probability mass function. F of x is 6x plus 5 over 85. X is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. What are the mean and variance? Okay, I recommend putting together a table. So you will have, what is this? X versus f of x. How do you find the f of x part? So if x is 0, put 0 in there. You'll have 5 over 85, won't you? Which is 1/17, so that's 0.05882. What if x is 1? Put 1 in there. So 6 times 1 plus 5, that's 11 over 85. You get 0.12941. And then similarly with 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so here are the exact answers. I think these are decimal approximations. So I want to find the average, the mean, and the variance. I guess he's not asking for the standard deviation in this case. Okay, go back to your calculator. Okay, on. So press the stat button right here. Okay, go into edit. Okay, so why don't I call these lists 3 and 4? Okay, so go over to list 3. So put in the x here, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then in the next list, list 4, oops. Okay, put in 1/17. 1 divided by 17.0588. Isn't that what I said here, remember? 0.0588. And then for x being 1, put in 11 over 85. Okay, so I'll have 11 divided by 85. And then 1/5 for x being 2. Now let me sit still. Okay, if x is 3, it was 23 over 85. Okay, this was easy enough to copy. I hope you copied this down. I hope you copied this down when I showed you the original data. Okay, so list 3 and list 4. Pay no attention to these. That's old data. So list 3 and list 4. So what was that? Oop, I don't want you to see the answer. List 3, list 4. Okay, so Remember, list 3, list 4, so now quit out of this. So second and then quit. Okay, now press the stat button, right here in the middle, stat, and then it's calc, go over to calc, it's choice number 1, one variable stats. Okay, so this time the list will be 3, so press the button second and then the number 3 to change that to list 3. Down arrow for frequency list, press the second button and then the number 4, and then it puts in list 4. Go down to calculate, and I'm getting an average of 2.70588 x bar, and then the, okay, what have I got here? 1.22545. That is the standard deviation, isn't it? Do you know how to calculate the variance? Standard deviation squared. Okay, so write down that average, 2.705882353. Write that down. I'm going to come back to that in a minute. Here's the standard deviation. Okay, so quit out of this. Press the vars button. Vars. And then go down to statistics, choice 5. And then go to choice 4, that's sigma x. Press the squared button, which is right here. And then press enter. So that right there, 1.501730104, that's the variance. Okay, so let me go back here. Okay, so what are the mean and variance? Okay, so this is what the calculator is telling me. So if they ask you to round to 2 decimal places, here they are, 2.71 for the mean and a 1.50 for the variance. If you're doing your homework in Wiley Plus, be careful of the tolerance. I think it allows you some tolerance as far as your answer, but be careful with that. If that's an issue, you can let me know about it.